my name's Sophia and today I'm going to be doing my classics TBR. So today I'm going to be showing y'all all the physical classics I have that I want to get to within the year. Now this isn't necessarily all the classics I have on my shelves, but it is the handful that I do want to get to by the end of 2017. So let's get started. I have 10 classics here because I read I read like 3 classics in January, I believe a classic in February, and I want to continue to read a classic a month. So these are the ones I have. The first one I want to get to is the one I'm currently reading, and that is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I have been reading this for a very long time. I still haven't made much progress just because my attention has been elsewhere, and I'm not really in the mood to start such a intense classic, or at least finish it, but I do plan on reading this by the end of March. Hopefully, if not, one of these novels will for sure be read by the end of March. The next classic I have is 1984 by George Orwell. I really want to read this because I believe it's one of the first dystopian novels, and I'm really intrigued by it, and I want to read it and see what it's all about and see how this whole dystopian genre came to be. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of YA dystopian, I really do want to see how this goes. The book I have is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I have been wanting to read this for a very long time. I really do enjoy the 20s era. I absolutely love it. I watch multiple shows where they are set in the 20s, and I just want to know the hype around Gatsby, and I want to finally watch a movie on Gatsby because I refuse to watch any of the Great Gatsby movies before I read this. So I do want to read this and see what it's all about, and it's not that big. And yeah, I just want to be back in the 20s. I say back like I've been there. I haven't been there before, obviously, but it'd be nice to experience it more. Does that make any sense? Probably not, but we're gonna roll with it. The next book I want to read is The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. This is more of a modern classic. I want to read this because it kind of reminds me of Grease, and I think it'd be super fun to read, and I do want to read it, and I want to know all about Ponyboy, which is very interesting to read in that. I've started this one as well, but I never really went that far, so I want to finish this and see if it's as good as most people say. The next book I want to read is The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. This book I've wanted to read for quite a while now. I don't know much about it, but I think it'd be super fun to read, and I just want to see everything that it's all about. And it's very flimsy, if you can tell. And yep, I don't have much to say on this because I'm really bad at descriptions and explaining things. And the next book I plan on reading is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. This is a children's classic, and I'm really excited to read this. I have another edition of this, I believe, coming in the mail, and that'll be in my March haul. But I'm really excited to read this and see what it's all about. And yeah, more children's classics, because I want to read more children's classics, as you will see with this next book, which is Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. I really want to read this book because Peter Pan is one of my favorite Disney movies. I've already read Alice in Wonderland, which is another of my favorites, so I can't wait to read Peter Pan and just fall back in love with the story of Peter and the Lost Boys in Neverland, and just it's just gonna be great, and I love this edition so much. I can't wait because Peter Pan is my favorite, and my dream is to meet him at Disney World or Disneyland, and I have yet to do that. Though I've met Alice almost every time I've been to Disney, so it's been great. The next book I have is another Jane Austen, and that is Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen, obviously. But I want to read this because I feel like it'll be my favorite Jane Austen. 1, it's short. 2, I believe this is the one that makes fun of the Gothic era, and I kind of want to see how that goes, and it just seems the most interesting to me, so I cannot wait to read this. Next book I have is actually a collection of short stories, and that is The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, and it's just a collection of not a lot, but some of the Sherlock Holmes short stories. I have a big bind-up of all of the Sherlock Holmes novels, and then I have a small copy of one novel and then another copy of another collection of short stories, but I decided to pick this one. It's the shortest of all of them, and I just feel like these are interesting, and this one I believe has Irene Adler in that, and I want to read about that. So yes, and I still haven't watched season 4 of Sherlock, so I need to somehow redeem myself from that. The last book I have to read is sort of a random pick. I don't know if I'm actually going to read this one or maybe change my mind and read another classic instead. But that is The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, as well as other stories by Robert Louis Stevenson. I don't know much about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I believe it has something to do with personality disorders, or like the split personalities. I don't know, that I could be completely wrong. Probably am, but I'm really intrigued by it and I want to see if I will enjoy it. Alright guys, so those are all my classics that I currently have on my TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, stay classy and keep reading. Bye!